Thanks for staying with us here on News Desk. Now, the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry has described the increase in the utility tariffs as insensitive to the plight of businesses. Now, the PRC yesterday announced an increment in water and electricity tariffs by more than 50% to take effect from next Monday. President of the Chamber, Seth Ejeba, tells Red Business the timing for the increases is very unfortunate.
Fuel production cost is high. It will be difficult to price very cheap. Because what you put in is what you get out of it at the end of it. So we have been struggling to be able to keep our heads above water. And unfortunately, even calling for government to find a way to solve the electricity problems so that the use of generators that are adding extra costs will be minimized or reduced. Then all of a sudden, electricity cost has been increased by a further 59.2%, almost 60%. Water by 67.2%. Whilst we are talking about the cost of doing business going high, we are still adding on. And timing to start from 2 weeks to Christmas. All other prices are going to change. And when it happens like that, even the one buying the product is having a challenge. They are pushing their inefficiency on people. There are a lot of inefficiencies in the system, and they should address that rather than putting the cost. From time immemorial, they have always been saying that we have to increase to give you better service. They have never been able to give a good service. How much more better service? I'm sorry to say that, but I think there's a lot of inefficiencies in the system. Instead of correcting what is wrong, they just put price on, put price. When time will come, there will be nothing for us to do again. I'm so disappointed today.
But utility service providers seem unhappy with the latest increase by the PURC. Now, the Ghana Water Company, for instance, says it was looking forward to a 124% increment in tariffs to enable it to work more efficiently. Now, the PURC, however, only granted a 67.2 increment. Communications Director of the Ghana Water Company, Stanley Marty, explains further.
So I first want to find out from you the proposal you sent to the PRC for the tariff increment.
We sent a proposal in connection with the cost of production, which is 8 cedis per 1,000 liters of water. So we have put in, or we had given them all the parameters involved in the production of water and everything calculated. And 1,000 liters of water is equivalent to 1 cubic meter of water, which is also equivalent to 220 gallons of water. And to the layperson is about 5 drams of water. Okay, and so that is a proposal that we have sent to them. But per our calculation for domestic consumers, we had said that 124% will move us from 1 cedi 78 pesos per 1,000 liters to 4 cedis. Okay, and then for other consumers, there was some other calculations. Now the PRC is saying that they have considered a lot of factors, including investor relations, including the consumer himself, the consumer as a whole, and then they've also considered the foreign exchange rates and all that, and they have come out with 67% increase. We would have wished that we've had a better increase than 67%. But the PLC is our regulator, and per their calculation, they think 67% is okay for now. We are unhappy about it, but we still will work with the current approved tariff. If you look at the chemicals that we use, 100% is imported. So we use foreign exchange. And if you look at the conversion from the Ghana cedi to the forex, you realize that becomes a bit problematic. So it's a bit difficult. And apart from that, our operational expenditure is quite high, especially with energy, where 45 to 50% of our earnings goes into energy. Okay, so all other aspects of our operations, all other parameters in our operations rely on the rest of the 50%, which is nothing to write home about. So it becomes very difficult, very challenging to for management to produce water in adequate quantities and to serve the consuming public.
Well, the Electricity Company of Ghana also seem not to be too satisfied with the adjustments. Now, ECG's Ebenezer Baden has been speaking to my colleague Israel via Skype.
The tariff proposals we've made has various assumptions, and what we put forward was 0% Akosombo, and then a lot of thermals, heavy fuel oil, some diesel generation, some LCO, and the rest. Now, with the announcement that was made, my understanding is that some blending has been done. So the hydrothermal mix, some assumptions have been made, and it will be important to look at what really the full assumptions are, and then we'll be able to comment on whether it's enough to cover the cost or that. We need to know what it entails.
All right, to get you clearly, you're saying essentially that in computing or coming up with the tariff increase you requested, you are considering or assuming that there will be no electricity coming from Akosombo.
Yes, that's right.
All right,
because then it was to accumulate the what will be inflows to the reservoir, and then now do proper allocation on it. As it is now, once you overdraft the dam, it becomes difficult to even do meaningful generation with it.
All right. Now, one of the key interventions that the ECG has brought in to resolve the power crisis is the power badge, the car power badge. Can this tariff at least pay for the electricity supplied from the car power badge?
Okay, so even without knowing the details of what PURC had done, I will perceive that it should cover fully the cost of the power badge, or what electricity generation from the power badge. At least in that case, you will know that ECG is not incurring any debt and is covering the cost of generation.
Right, away from that, let's do some politics. And the Greater Accra chairman of the ruling National Democratic Congress says the suspension of some parliamentary candidates in the just-ended primaries has been put on hold. Incumbent Member of Parliament for La Dade Kotopon, Ni Amasa Namoale, who was re-elected to contest on the ticket of the party in 2016, together with Namoale and George, also known as Sam George, who defeated veteran MP E.T. Mensah in the Ningo Prampram primary, as well as Gloria Huze, who defeated Efifa Yamua Ponko in Ejisu in the Ashanti region, were all suspended for various offences. Ni Adekoka, speaking earlier on the AM show, said the move was necessary.
I was in the meeting yesterday, and the chairman said they have suspended our suspension. They have suspended our suspension.
What does it mean?
Because we have sent a report to National on the matters. So we are in the region, and we are the custodians of the region. National will only hear a voice or a dissent from the region or anybody through us. You understand? So what we have done now, we've sent a report to the region, to the National, after the effects, the events of the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
So they are looking into it, and that was a perfect statement.
Wait, hang on. Can we go back a bit? What are the powers of the regional executive? Can you suspend somebody and on what basis?
Exactly. For in this, I haven't got the articles here. Article 40, 41, and 42. Right. See, for bringing the party's name into disrepute, right? For doing acts that ridicule the party in various forms, right? The region can handle those issues.
Do you do that? Do you make that decision in consultation with the national executives?
No, you see, we don't do that in consultation with the national. We do, and then we inform them, and then the person who is aggrieved have the opportunity to appeal to national. That is when they can. Now, what's happening is that we are told that the party has put up a conflicts and conflicts resolution committee that has to look into the so probably we jumped earlier than we should have jumped. So the matter has already been referred to the complaints committee, and they are going to look. So the matter is still fluid.
But there's something that I don't quite get right. You have the powers to suspend,
exactly,
you know, a member of yours in your region.
Every stage, even at the branch level, at the branch level, at the constituency level, at the regional level, at the national level, the party has got disciplinary committees. The party has rights at that level, at their level, to perform certain. But the argument,
but you did this, and you know, just about a day after.
No. The argument here is that Ashanti region were able to suspend another lady, a parliamentary candidate, right? The argument that came about was that because we have sent the matter to national, it is probably prejudicial to have taken that action. Which, okay, fine. If that is the case, then the national will have to look, and that is
so. When did you send the issue to
we sent the issue
to the national?
Immediately. On today is Tuesday. We had a meeting on a Tuesday, and on the Wednesday, but apparently it went to the table of the general secretary, and he was out of town. I'm told he was in Angola at that time. And so he didn't have privy, and also these matters were not for public consumption, because we don't know how it came to the press. The press
no, but the point is, if you have the powers to suspend, why would you want to petition the national office?
We don't petition. After you've done that, you send a report to the national. What is happening is that because a conflicts resolution committee has been put in place, the assumption was that we should have waited, we should have sent that report to the conflicts committee for them to resolve the issue before
which is at the national level.
At the national level, which is understandable, right? But at that particular moment of time that we were taking those issues, we took it in our capacity as the regional executive committee, which we have powers to do so. But then, if it is brought to our attention that, look, wait a minute, a complaints committee have been put in place, so it's appropriate for you to channel your grievances or whatever, your findings to them, for them to, then it's fair enough.
Doesn't that usurp your powers then?
Oh, no. They compliments.
Now let's stay with politics, and barring any last-minute changes, the General Secretary of the main opposition New Patriotic Party, that's Kwabena Ejei-Agyapong, may be suspended by the party on Thursday. He's likely to be handed a 15-month suspension period. The decision to suspend Mr. Agyapong was concluded, we are told yesterday, by the disciplinary committee of the party. Now, information we have suggests that, well, that particular final report is to be presented to the National Executive Committee of the party today, and once they do have that report, an emergency meeting is going to be set. I mean, some say that particular meeting will be on Thursday, and once that meeting is set, the fate of the General Secretary of the party is to be sealed, and he's supposed to serve a 15-month suspension. Again, also to serve a suspension is Sammy Crab, that's the second deputy general secretary of the party as well. All that information, we'll be bringing you much more on that subsequently. We're still trying to get through to some of the persons we were able to speak to earlier on this particular issue. And when we do have them, we'll bring that particular story back to you. But you're still watching News Desk here on Joy News. At this point, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you business.